It's the power of J-Skull!
That's right, everyone. Here we are again on the Power of J-Skull. I'm one of your hosts, VHS Jace. And of course, there's Jason Moy Gaston with his dulcet tones. It's my favourite thing every week is to hear you yell the power of J-Skull. Because that's when I truly feel like I do have the power. So,
Indeed you do.
all right. We're talking about Catra this week. And everyone's going, Catra, we love Catra. Yes, you do. And rightfully so. But not that Catra we're talking about this week. We're talking about the Filmation Catra. And I already feel like there's somebody objecting for this choice of Catra. Who is that?
This is Demona.
Demona clearly is a fan of the 2018 series, and she's right to feel like that.
Yes.
But no, we've decided to go back and look at, and this was a great, interesting choice, Jason. Why did we choose Catra this week? And why is this specific version of Catra?
Well, you know, She-Ra the Princess of Power was not as popular as He-Man, despite the fact that Mattel really pushed it out there. But one of the more iconic characters was Catra. Aside from She-Ra and Hordak, she's the one that most people remember because she was so over the top into the cat theming. And of course, her transformation into her cat persona, her fursona, I guess, was very memorable. So that's
absolutely.
why I thought it would be fun to pay her a visit and not only see how she compares to modern Catra, because let's face it, she's not going to, but also see what this version of Catra had to offer children of the 1980s.
I must say, throughout these next couple of episodes we'll talk about, I do see themes that are consistent with the modern Catra. So interesting things I'll bring out throughout it. There are some things that I went, I can see the echoes of, well, maybe it's not an echo, but the proto themes of the character they designed in Princess of Power, which is very cool. The figure that you have there, Jason, obviously Catra figure, that's from the Masterverse.
Yes.
Masterverse, yes.
I'm still waiting for Masterverse Princesses of Power figures. Mattel.
I think we all are.
Mattel.
Which is the strangest thing in the world because
Mattel?
They would sell them out instantly. I think they underestimate. Yeah, absolutely. I'd be like down to getting all of them as well.
There's got to be some kind of rights issue. There's got to be.
Figure
it out, Mattel. Give us the.
Well, that's Netflix in general, isn't it? Netflix are terrible at their marketing arm. They
are. I mean, I would love to have a BoJack Horseman figure or something like that, but no.
Final Space or
Final Space was just so great.
Yeah. Like, I would love some of that stuff. All right, well, let's get into these two episodes. And the first episode we're talking about is Magicats, which pretty well could have called it Thundercats, but no, that's fine. Magicats, we'll deal
what
with
is
that.
It about 80s cartoons always having a civilization of cat people around somewhere?
But, what was the recent episode we watched with the cat episode? What was that?
It was an episode of He-Man, of the 2002 He-Man.
Yes, which was like, so it seems to be a running theme. But we start this episode with no cats. No cats.
No.
We start the episode here with, well, what is he, a nobleman?
He's a king, I think. I don't know. He looks like if Eric from The Little Mermaid were to grow up.
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
I'm thinking that as well.
He's also got the Prince Valium hair that was very, very popular with men in the 1980s if you were animated and on a fantasy world.
I was going to say, I didn't see a lot of dudes walking along the streets with those haircuts, but if you're in the animated world, it seemed to be the dude to have, didn't it?
Oh, absolutely. There was a barber that just had the posters up in his shop. People would come in and go, I want that one. You too, huh? All right.
This is just a classic setup scene for what is essentially the introduction of our main villain for the week, Catra.
Yes.
Catra and her bots.
She did not get the spotlight to herself very often, but this was a good Catra episode, I thought. A good way to examine the character.
And I agree. I agree. I think we got a lot out of this character in this episode, actually. More so this episode than I think we do in the episode afterwards. However, basically the whole plot is they've got that nobleman there who's trying to ship products back to his base or whatever.
Hair care products, probably.
Yeah, hair products. Adora's there to help. Obviously, Catra's there to take what she wants to do, so we have a little bit of a scuffle. Nothing kind of original. Where,
I did think it was fun that they had an entire sequence in there where they accidentally animated Adora with She-Ra's powers, though, because at one point she's jumping 20 feet in the air and doing somersaults and everything. And
I thought thinking, that.
Can Adora do that?
Yeah, like Adora, I mean, at this point, when you're showing that, you go, there ain't a lot of difference then, physicality-wise, is there, between Adora and...
Not really. It's like, why even change into She-Ra if you can do that? Which, honestly,
exactly.
That's one thing that I think the Princesses of Power did that made a lot of sense, is that they did not even bother with a secret identity for Adora, because, He-Man's justification from the Sorceress was, if Skeletor ever found out who you were, he would never stop going after your family.
Yeah.
Adora doesn't have family, and everyone that she knows are already being hunted by Hordak. So why the secret identity?
It's a great question. It really is. I don't get it either. The problem is, as a writer, it must be really frustrating because invariably you have to take time out to write the scene of her transformation.
But you also have to understand the transformation scene was the one thing we were all waiting for back in the 80s. We were sitting there on the floor, just like, change.
Where's the moment? Yeah, that's true. So in a way, it was a necessary function.
And it was also budget cutting, because that was 10, 15 seconds you didn't have to animate because you just reused it over and over and over again. Same reason why the lion transformation in Voltron took so long. They didn't have to animate it. They just reused it.
Reused it again and again. Now, Catra's got some powers, hasn't she? She got a magic wand or something? What's the deal? How could she make this?
She did it once, and then she never did it again.
I never did it again.
You would think that was handy, and she would try it again, but no, I don't know if she ever even had the... I don't even know if she ever had this weapon after this again.
But obviously, throughout their battle, one of the byproducts is a chasm has opened up, Jason.
Yes. You have to admit, it was rather funny when She-Ra fell down the chasm and Catra took a moment to gloat and then fell down too. I laughed.
Oh, I thought that was funny too. Hey, you know what was cool about that though, Jason? And I will... some of the times what they do with the sword in this show is kind of like, really, the sword is just anything you need. But I did like how she used the sword in this moment because she used it to slow herself down.
Oh, yes. Yes,
I like that.
That
I like the idea of
clever,
clever to kind of just use the sword to kind of bring her down. But they land... we don't really see where Adora lands or She-Ra lands at the beginning, but we land in this really strange maze-like type of thing. And as you can see, Catra's turned into her Purple Panther self.
Well, she had to land on all fours. She had to land on her feet.
Which is great. I like that little touch. I absolutely like that. So they both fall into this land, which we follow Catra here, but we soon find out that Catra's actually found by the villagers. I don't think that's the exact scene they find them. That's
looks like a cereal commercial.
Yeah.
But she's catios.
Yeah, but basically she's found by these guys who seem much nicer in this.
Yes. That's a Percival.
Because
of course he is.
Of course he is. Yeah. It played like a extinguished English gentleman, which I kind of like. But they see Catra and literally, they exclaim that she's the queen.
I love the fact that the Magicats are all in their subterranean city. Oh, Percival, hello there, my good lad. Did you see how fine the weather was this morning? And here comes Catra rolling up. Hello! I
Yeah.
am your queen.
Yeah.
Perfect. I
Well,
just wanted them
they-
to look at. I wanted them to look at her and go, "Do you have any idea how culturally insensitive that is?"
Yeah, like that's not great. But the fact that they claim it first, she does it, and she goes, "Yes, I'm the queen."
That's the ticket.
Yeah, and it's just like, come on, guys, can you not read up on the vibes there? But either way, she is. This is where we get echoes of the Catra, I think. Well, the beginnings of Catra that we see in the other series, because Catra here's been quite opportunistic
Yes, she
and playing
is.
it to her advantage, and something that Catra, as we know in the 2018 series, is a master at. Always one or two steps ahead. And we get to see a bit of that here. Even though she's not as accomplished as that Catra we still get to see that she's out for herself. She's trying to figure out what's best for her. And yes, the lack of Hordak in this is a good thing for this plot. So,
Yeah, I like that we get a secondary henchman getting an episode to herself, because you really did not see that a lot. Not every now and again you would a little bit, but you remember whenever we did Beastman a couple of weeks ago, I decried the fact that there's just no episode, especially of the 2002 seasons, where Beastman is by himself. He's always in the background somewhere. So I like episodes like this that really let us explore a secondary character, even if it's done clumsily, which this was kind of clumsy at times. As you said, she is very manipulative. She sees an opportunity and goes for it, but she's very dumb about it. She's always got that dopey dumbness about her.
Yeah.
But then again, so do the people that she's trying to take over, because never once do they ever ask, "Why are you not wearing pants?"
Never. And
the queen is naked from the waist down. Is no one going to say anything? Of course,
Yeah,
later
no
in the
one's gonna
episode,
say
whenever we
anything.
meet the real queen, naked from the waist down. It's some weird magic hat thing. I don't know.
It's them and the Ferengi. There's something they have in
Yeah.
common about the females.
At least the magic hats let them have, a top. I don't know.
Yeah, true. But it's all around the mask, really, isn't it? It's the mask that is convincing them, not obviously the colour for fur, but it's the mask that's really convincing them that... which was something new I didn't know, that mask had power. Something that Catra finds out about herself as well. She had that mask all that time. She didn't even know that thing could do things.
Yeah, she was just using it to turn into a cat because
Yeah.
that was perfect. Do you think that she spoke like that before she got the mask? Was she just
I don't know.
Was she just one of Hordak's captains walking around going, "Where's that weird one that always talks like a cat? I've got something here that's hilarious. What's your name?" "Catra." "You're kidding me. Your name is Catra.
It's Catra.
Put this mask on."
Yeah, perfect.
"Holy crap, look, she turned into a cat. Probably like it, don't you, you sick freak?"
Yeah. Stop drinking all the milk.
That's why that's why Adult Swim, I want to write an Adult Swim version of Masters of the Universe. Let me do it, please.
It needs Master Universe meets Harlequin, an R-rated
Absolutely.
He-Man one.
Absolutely.
There is so much material to be mined there. Nevertheless, meanwhile, She-Ra is down in the chasm. She gets attacked by a horde of kitty cats.
It's like me walking into my front door.
Yeah.
Where's the
It was
food?
pretty
Where's
great.
the food?
There was a bunch of them too.
There was. It was so
Yeah.
much fun.
And we can't have She-Ra kicking a cat's face in. We can't have her. Not on TV. It's not good. You can't send the message to kiddies at home that you could kick a cat in the face. However, she does what she normally does. A rock gets thrown and she just smashes a rock and traps
that
them.
roundhouse kick animation that we get so much mileage out of.
Absolutely. I mean, if anything, we don't know what they're really like at fighting. I mean, they might be really good at kicking rocks, but maybe they just miss if they did have to go into a real fight, someone just runs up and bear hugs them and it's over. Puts them in an MMA style chokehold. Done.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what? You can punch a rock. So what, I say. We do, however, have a cameo by Hordak in this. Hordak? And we get to see the fact that he indeed has the real queen, who, guys, again, magic cats, dumb as hell. This is what your current queen looks like. This is what the real queen looks like.
They're colorblind. They can't help it.
Clearly, these cats are only seeing in black and white. Clearly.
Yes.
Maybe that was intentional. Who knows?
There's so much cringe in this episode, but it's
a lot.
Fun cringe.
It's not a bad episode.
No, it's a good episode. I enjoyed it. First of all, Catra is obviously based on Eartha Kitt. That somebody watched old episodes of Batman and said, we want this on our show. Let's do it, because the way she talks, even her face when she takes the mask off and she's just talking, you can tell
the high eyelashes and stuff. Yeah. That's the right choice at that time, though, Jason.
Oh, absolutely.
At that time.
At the time, yes. Percival breaking the fourth wall whenever he sees that Catra is not really the queen. I don't know why it made me laugh, because he's just so enthusiastic about talking to nobody.
Yeah.
And
I remember them.
Friends, felines, country cats. Oh my God.
Yes.
Oh my God. And I want to know if you caught this. I'm sure that you have seen the first He-Man commercial where Filmation did this fantastic job animating this television commercial.
Amazing commercial.
Yes. Did you notice that She-Ra saved herself from the trapdoor the same way He-Man saved himself from the trapdoor in that He-Man commercial?
No.
She just uses her sword instead of the spear.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so somebody recycled an action sequence.
Mate, I tell you what, that everything was recycled to such a point in Filmation that you would never walk along and see a bit of paper scrunched up everywhere.
Oh, no.
It would be one of the most efficient studios there was, without question.
Oh, you know it. It's only one I can think of is maybe Trauma Studios would be a little bit cheaper.
Yeah, or who else? The Proto-Trauma, the classic, the B-film legend.
Hammer.
No, Roger Corman.
Oh, Corman, yeah.
Of course, yes. He is the legend. Yeah, he's the man. Hey, back to this angry kitty cat picture, which I loved, because this is the moment they find out that She-Ra isn't.
I guess there are a few there who aren't wearing pants too. There's a few who are like full frontal. I don't know. Maybe
I don't know. I reckon that's a jacket over a whole suit with the grey one there.
Maybe, but look at the one on the very left, though. I mean,
there's no
that dude's
pants.
just letting it swing.
I think this is a class thing. I think this is a hierarchical class division thing. Maybe only noblemen get to wear pants.
Maybe, but then again, maybe the queen doesn't wear pants because she wants to let the nobleman know that she was with them. I don't know. Maybe the higher up in status you get, the less clothes you have to wear.
Now, at this point, Jason...
do you think the cat pope is just going like completely naked? I'm just wondering. Is there a cat pope? Does that mean there was a cat Jesus and a cat crucifixion?
Imagine if there was. That means there's a cat. Wonder what they had at their Last Supper. It was just all bowls of whiskers.
Probably. Maybe a little bit.
That means there's a cat Judas.
Cat Judas.
Oh. Cat Satan. Oh, well, we know there's a cat. Anybody who owns a cat know that cat Satan is real, because exactly. Yeah, Exhibit A.
Exhibit A.
Yeah, 100%. The star of the VHS Vault herself. Yes, one of the stars of the VHS Vault. Our other show you got to check out. No, in the end, again, look, I'm getting annoyed at this point at how easy bad guys seem to get away at the end of these episodes.
It really is. It's just, oh, She-Ra, you have beat me. Look over there. What?
Over there.
Oh, no, she's gone.
She's gone.
She's gone. I did like how they erased her memories, because that helmet still has all those powers and Catra has
she doesn't know
idea.
Which kind of begs the question, if you could erase her memories, wouldn't you erase her memory of ever having the mask and then take the mask?
Well, they said that they can't use the mask anymore because once the mask is used for evil, it can't be used for good.
That's
anymore.
right. Yeah, Percival said that, didn't he?
They could just take the mask and put it up on the wall and say, "Yeah, there's the mask. We can't use it for good anymore." At least
Yeah, see
Catra
you
doesn't
later.
have it.
Exactly.
Oh,
At
where's
least it
my
can't be used
mask?
against us. Yeah. You know who I did want to see more of in this episode, because the little small moments that she does have, it was like the Queen, the real Queen. At the end, I'm like, yes, she's got the Eartha Kick thing coming on, but she, like, you felt like that was a Queen. Like, she carried herself regally. So I was like, would have liked to seen a story with her a bit more. I think there's something to be told there.
I like that. One thing that this show did every now and again, not all the time, but every now and again, was that there was a lot of baggage, societal baggage from the Horde taking over all of Etheria. And there was trauma on a civilization size scale. And you saw that here whenever they were talking about their queen was being held somewhere. So
Yeah.
there was consequences that went on. I really like that, and I really wish the show had delved deeper into it, because honestly, She-Ra should have been a darker show than what it was. And I know everybody's going to say, "Well, it was made for girls." Yeah, but there's nothing more empowering than watching a female hero beat the crap out of bad guys.
100%, 100%.
I mean, I watch this show every day, watching a female hero beat the crap out of bad guys, and I loved it.
Exactly. Well, we eventually got what you wanted. It just took another 25, 30 years for it to happen.
Yes.
But we eventually did get it. However, with this one, I think they still made huge strides for its time. And you're right. You're talking about community trauma. And we do get to that in this show, that there is a sense that, like you said, every village, every town has been affected by the invasion. And I do like that. And I think they explore that better, obviously, later on, in the sequel series. Not sequel series, the reboot series. But yeah, that was it. That was it for this episode. Is anything that we haven't spoken about you wanted to talk about?
We haven't checked in with Lookie yet.
We need to go and check in with Lookie. Let's have a lookie where Lookie was this week.
I didn't find him this week.
Hi, it's your friend Lookie again. Did you find where I was hiding today? If not, look for me now. See me now? Here I am. You live on a beautiful planet, and you can help keep it that way. One thing you can do is not litter. Don't throw papers and cans and bottles on the ground. If you see a friend at school or play being a litter bug, ask them not to. Please help keep your world beautiful. Don't be a litter bug. Bye!
Long stretch for connectivity on that one.
I don't even think they stretched. I think they just said, forget it. Just put in something about littering, which is weird because they could have said something about trusting people unconditionally, trusting people without, I don't know, something about not trusting strangers.
Yeah.
Yeah, just something that could have done that. Or, I don't know, not judging people before you know them. Always listen to two sides of the story. Don't kick your cat in the face.
Yes,
any of those would have helped.
That would have helped. But yeah, that was probably the first time from the Filmation series I've gone, ugh, that didn't work for me, that one.
Yeah, those are what we call don't put the mustard on the cat morals, where it has nothing to do with the episode and it's just common sense stuff. Like, please don't set fire to your couch. Thanks, Lookie. Appreciate it.
Well, Lookie, we'll let you go till the next episode. But this episode, the next one we've got to talk about now, Jason, is The Prisoners of Beast Island. Is the next one to talk about. And I'm going to say from the outset with this episode made me cringe harder than Jar Jar in episode 1 at times.
Oh.
But I came to appreciate it at the end of it. I will say that.
I think I know.
Thank God this character gets an arc. Because it was dragging nails. And I'm talking about sorrowful.
I wouldn't call it an arc more than it was a right angle where it comes from nowhere. But yeah, sorrowful is, he's everything Granomir is not.
Yeah, he's a coward. He's afraid. He has no confidence. And I can understand for young kids, there's some relatability factor there for some young kids. But I'm not really going to question Sorrowful's actions in this. More so that the morons who thought it was a good idea to have him as the first line of defense.
Isn't Castaspella's costume simply horrible?
I was waiting for her twin to turn up so their wonder powers could activate.
I was waiting for a trapeze to lower from the sky just so she could do her act and get off my TV.
I got to throw this out there because I put this in the chat. This is my favorite thing in this whole episode is Cal calling out Bo and all his crap. Because if you watch it, he's always saying something cynical to Bo about, oh, well, we've got to do this. Oh, yes, if you say so. But Cal is calling out the situation that no one else seems to notice, that this version of Bo is a moron.
I have got a fan theory, and people are going to say it's a stretch, but the more and more I watch Bo and Cal interact in the Filmation series, I think they're married.
You think?
I think they're married.
That's an abusive relationship then.
I think that they've been married for a very long time. I think they're tired of each other, and they're just at that petty ropers era of their marriage where they're just being catty to each other.
I don't know. I mean, I think Cal's calling it how he sees it, and I like that. I like it. So if they are married, it's just like, because Bo, man, like, wow, talk about a character that they took from, like, you want to see, he's a completely different character in the reboot series. Completely from his boots upwards. The only thing that's similar is that heart icon. That is it.
And the exposed navel, yes.
Yeah. Seriously, though, why did they think Sorrowful was going to hold back a Horde attack?
I don't know. The voice, they gave him kind of a Bill Farmer voice, like, oh boy, I can't wait to do this.
It's like the dog that had the cat. I'm going to love him and pet him for the rest of my life.
George. Look at the flowers, Winnie. Yes.
Yes.
But yeah, it's just
dumb.
It was a terrible plan,
and they're pulling a whole Cyrano de Bergerac thing where we've got Bo telling Sorrowful what to say at the gates. And, oh, you better watch out! I gotta be firing you. And I'm like, mate. But their reaction was like, "Holy shit! It's a dragon."
And then 5 minutes later, are they serious with this right now?
Yeah.
What is this? I also think it was very weird that they, and I say this because I think they had plans for the Snake Men on He-Man and just never got to it before Mattel axed the show. But it's so weird seeing the Snake Men work for Hordak, especially Ratlore. Just General Ratlore, just sitting there, just taking orders.
Needed a job.
So.
Times are tough. Yeah, you got to do what you got to do, you know.
I had a job and I got fired at the last minute.
Was that the same chasm from the last episode? They decided to seem to be a running thing here. Need to get rid of something?
Likely. I just want to know
open up the ground.
Why didn't they open with Castaspella's magic in the first place?
By the way, you've got Castaspella, right?
Yes.
She's not the one who stops the Horde tanks. No, this is where we're getting. I need my sword now to become a magic wand.
Yeah,
that
whenever
turns things to ice.
Yeah, sword to ice maker. I was expecting like a Sonic ice maker that was going to be spitting out ice cubes for drinks.
Why couldn't have Castaspella done something? Doesn't make sense.
I don't know. There's a lot about this first fight that didn't make sense, and there's a lot about this first fight you can tell they didn't care to make sense. It's just we need to kill a few minutes before we get to our story.
And this is where what is this story? Is it a redemption story about how Sorrowful overcomes being a coward? I mean,
I don't know. I mean, he
facing
really
his fears, but he doesn't really face his fears.
He doesn't really face his fears. It's just, I'm cowardly. I'm cowardly. I'm cowardly. Guess what? I'm not cowardly anymore. That was his art.
Hey, from a frozen tank to Catra getting on a helicopter, capturing Sorrowful and having him, like, I assume there's some clone troopers behind us somewhere, capturing Sorrowful. It just seemed to be in the same scene. It was immediate.
How did you capture him? I don't know.
I don't know. Very quick editing. So they capture him, and then they throw him into... And they're really playing up Sorrowful. He's so scared and he's terrified. And I must be old at this point because I'm like, you pussy. What's your problem? Man up here, Sorrowful. Like, you're going to have to be the strong in prison or you're going to get taken down.
You could swipe your tail and kill all the bad guys in one blow, but no.
Monsters...
Does that monster have 6 fingers on one hand and only 4 on the other?
5 and 4, I think you're right. So,
my gosh, what the heck? Well,
I know. I'm more concerned about the monsters and every bit of media you ever see them in a jail or prison. For some reason, they have to push their arms out of the bars.
Oh, well, how else are you going to know they're there?
How else are you going to know they're there? So, but Casta Speller... She-Ra need to go to a couple of wise people to have a chat to. I'm not serious. Thank God she's not in it long because I'm checking out at this point. I'm really struggling with this episode, to be honest.
But this had my favorite sequence in it whenever they first land on Beast Island and She-Ra says, "They'll never find us in this cove," and literally 10 seconds later, Catra and the Horde troopers are just standing there going, we found you!
We found you.
People are getting snuck up on in this episode a lot.
A lot. Coincidentally, Bo, obviously, they're going to go and try to find Sorrowful. And Bo falls down the one hole where he can land and speak to Sorrowful. Which I've got a screen capture of him looking a bit evil, but he's still pretty well much a coward here. But it's when he meets his buddies, isn't it? He realizes, they're all my friends.
I think it's really cool we got Rodan in a cameo in this episode as well. Not to mention we have I think in the background isn't that Slimer from Ghostbusters?
It is, and I was thinking that was the creature from the back lagoon that had been boiled like a lobster.
So, absolutely. So it was great to see these cameos in there.
Yeah, cross-pollination's always a good thing for IP. Either way, it quickly turns into this thing where literally he's got all the kahunas in the world now, Sorrowful.
Well, he needed it for the plot.
He needed it for the plot. Just to be able to tell Catra, you're a mean person. So,
I don't like you, Curly's wife. You need to go now.
Yeah, and so what do we need to do? We need to have that quick running sound effect from Scooby-Doo and a quick runaway because they all get scared.
Again, I don't know why. Grizzlor was always my favorite on this show. I don't think he ever got featured in an episode, but I just loved Grizzlor so much.
What was it about him you liked? The design?
I had the action figure, and he was furry. I still have the action figure somewhere. He's in another room, but I just love the furry action figure. I just thought he was fun.
Oh, he's a good design. I like him as well. He's one of the stronger ones. You know, with that toy line, though, Jason, one of the strengths of She-Ra is most of their villains were really good.
Yes.
Most of them.
But
were really good designs. By the time those toys had come out, they'd evolved and tried all these different characters out in the He-Man universe. So
each figure had a gag. Grizzlor was furry. Mantenna had the eyes that popped out, and
the suction cup.
Leech had the suction cups, and they were, and even the little Horde troopers. You pressed the button and they exploded.
Yeah,
I just loved that kind of stuff. I loved the gags.
Yeah, and each toy had them at that point. Yeah, absolutely. Look, coming back to this episode, it was all wrapped up nicely with him thanking them for getting his confidence back. Casta Speller's floating castle. I didn't realize she lived in a floating
She lived in a floating castle in the Princesses of Power.
There you go. I'd forgotten that as well. It was good. It was all right. No, this one was a very middle of the road. Don't have a lot more to say on this episode because it was very... Even though at the end of it I appreciated Sorrowful getting his arc, getting his confidence back, it was very grating. And it really took a lot away from this episode, that character, because it seemed... I don't know. No one was smart in it. He wasn't smart. The good guys weren't smart. Dumb decisions made all around, and really an unsatisfying ending.
It was unsatisfying, and it was kind of strange because I think that this was only the 10th episode of the first season. So you would have thought
Number 12, actually.
Number 12, okay. You would have thought this would be something for the second season whenever they pretty much just gave up. But no, this was the 12th episode. They'd actually already introduced Sorrowful, and he appeared in one more episode after this.
Oh, really?
And then, poof, gone.
He was gone. You know,
somebody had him somebody had him go out there and look across the river. Think about that ranch we want with all the rabbits. I can say it, She-Ra. Sword to gun. You think her sword turned into a gun? You think she ever tried
I think
it?
her sword could turn into anything she wanted at any time. I think some of the things that I would have used it for, I mean, clearly to clean up around the place, turn into a vacuum cleaner would have been nice.
Oh, absolutely.
Need to chop some wood for the fire. It's kind of good for that. Make it an axe. I don't know. I mean, what else you can do? You get bored, turn into a PlayStation.
She-Ra, we are here to fight you. Sword to machine gun.
Yeah,
what's a machine gun? Oh my God.
Yeah. Sword to thermonuclear weapon. That ends that story. Yeah. Though, again,
Adam
the
comes
more...
through a portal. What happened here? Cringer,
I'll
let's
leave
get
you
out of
alone.
here.
Yeah, let's just go, man. Like, embarrassing. You know, walking away going, you can't choose your family, can you? But there you go. No, either way, I am enjoying watching these She-Ra episodes because what I'm seeing is the architecture bit by bit being mapped out for what they do in the reboot series.
Yeah, you kind of see
it's
the
wonderful from
proto-versions
that
of them all, and it's
aspect.
great.
Yeah. So, no, enjoyed the first one more than the second one, Jason.
I did too.
That was it. Absolutely. Now, normally we do casting call, but we're not doing it on this version of Catra because the studio executives have demanded that we focus on casting a Catra from the 2018 series, which we've already done, and you can check that out in a previous episode, which is a good reminder. If you do enjoy watching The Power of J-Skull as much as we enjoy doing it, don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, to see what else we're doing in the world of The Power of J-Skull, which now leads into the next question for Jason. What's next, buddy?
Well, I think that we do need to go. Why do you do this to me?
I know you do.
Okay. Well, we need to go back to Eternia now.
We do.
Who did we talk about last time? Was it Beastman?
It was Beastman. Beastman.
Okay. So we need to talk about a hero this time.
Oh, beauty.
So let's see. Who have we not talked about lately? Or who have we not talked about before? Oh, how about this? How about everybody's favorite sociopath? The Sorceress.
The Sorceress. Done. I'm down for that.
Sorceress?
Because it's all about her. And I'm all about her to talk about it. So,
but she has a very fun origin episode that really is, it's a lot of fun to watch. So we're gonna go with that one, and then I don't know, I'll find another one because surely there's.
I even have that figure, Jace. That's one figure that I can show off next week because I do own the Sorceress.
Ah, nice.
Nice. Well, it came with Castle Grayskull. So.
Yeah, I've got that one, and I've got the Masterverse Sorceress, and I've got the other Origin Sorceress, and and I've got the Netflix Sorceress too. So, yeah.
So you're just helping her with the whole me thing, aren't you? You're just
pretty much, yeah.
You're just enabling that for her.
But but I do have a lot more Skeletors though. So sorry.
All you need to do is said, I have a lot more Skeletors in the closet, and that was a dad joke. I would have given you a thumbs up on. Either way,
no, my Skeletors are out and proud.
With this though, I'm really interested in this character because I just got to say before we go is I've never really had a definitive opinion on her. That's what makes her so interesting. I'm never convinced that she is pure good, but I'm not convinced she is evil. I tend to think that from her perspective, all she's trying to do is good, but I'm not always convinced that her actions point in that direction. And she annoys me because she won't leave the house. She's agoraphobic. You know?
I think
So-
that she is she's mystic and she is mysterious, but at the same time, she has some very questionable decisions in her belt. Very questionable.
So, which makes her a fascinating character, Jace, to talk about
Indeed.
on the next Power of J Skull. All right, guys, that's it from me. That's it from Jason. And Jason, say goodbye to everyone with the best catch call there is.
You have been watching the Power of J Skull.